Okay, so I want to work on the enemy character getting hit. So whenever the enemy gets hit, whether he gets shot or whether he gets slashed by the sword, he's gonna flip up in the air and fall on the ground. And after a few seconds, he's gonna flip up. So I'm just gonna quickly animate those first. After I animate that, I'm going to import the animations into Unreal and then code it, and then I'll go through like one or two little issues that come with that whole implementation. Okay, so I'm going to start, I'm going to go to the animation tab. And I want to set, so when he gets it, it's going to be about, I think a 1 second, either 1 second or 15, or sorry, 1 second or half a second animation. So I'm going to have to see how it feels. Okay, so I think that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to save that out. Well, first I'll export it. Export FBX. I'm going to call it make an FBX folder. Call it Android guard flip back. And I'll save it as the same name for the Blender file. Flip back. With that done, I want to go back to the animations tab. I'm going to select everything. I want to insert or insert key in the last frame. I'm going to delete everything else. And I want to insert key at the beginning. So this one's going to be down, like an idle animation for 1 second. So I'll export it as let's call it on back for the FBX, and also save it by the same name. On back. Okay, so I'm going to open up the first one that I just created. flip back. So now I'm going to do the opposite animation where he flips up. So I'm going to get rid of all the keys in between. I'm going to leave, so I have to flip these. From here to here, I'm going to make him kick his feet up into the air and flip back up. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm just going to export this. EX. And I'll save it again. Okay, so I'm going to hop into Unreal. And I should probably open up the level I'm working on. Okay. Go ahead and I've already got the fighter and the android with the gun opened up. I just need to open up the sword. So I'm going to script everything. But before I do that, I need to go into the Android folder. I'll create another folder called animation take hit. And I'll import actually I need to move files over to the Unreal folder. This is unnecessary, but I've already started doing it, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Okay. So back into Unreal, press import, flip up, flip back, and on back. And it's going to prompt me to select a skeleton, and that's going to be the Android default pose. And double check to make sure that import animations is checked, and then press import. And that's going to take a few, maybe. Okay, so everything's imported. I'm going to save everything before I lose everything. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'll start with the fighter Android, the one with no gunner sword. And there's an event called deal damage. I believe that for the female warrior, it's this box collider right here. It gets toggled on and off when she swings, and so when that box is overlap on begin overlap, it does a deal damage, and it triggers. First, I need to go find the blueprint interface, the deal damage interface. So when you open up the interface, if it looks like this, all you have to do is double click on any of the functions, and then it goes back into this normal mode. So I've got a deal damage here. So whenever this is toggled on, which is by default set to no collision, then it sends deal damage. And immediately, like what I have now, I have something really simple. It's just destroy actor, but that's not what I want. I want to break this link. And when he gets a deal damage, I want a sequence. So the first one is play animation in this skeletal mesh, and it's going to be flip back, which is 1 second, and then after a delay of 1 second, because it takes 1 second to play, I'm going to copy and paste. And this is going to be on back, so when he's on his back. So this might not look like, I don't know, like the nicest way to code it, but I want to have this play for 3 seconds, so I need this to play 3 more times. I could just press loop, but I don't know, I don't know, for some reason I like doing things the hard way. I'll play 3 more times, so after 1 second it plays once, after 2 seconds it plays again, and after 3 seconds it plays again, and then after 4 seconds it plays the flip up. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this and paste it into the other two. This link. In the gun, I've got the Android with the gun, I believe. Let's see what happens when she shoots. Okay, so when she shoots, it's the same function. So whether she's swinging the sword or shooting a line trace, it triggers the same function here, the same interface deal damage. And I need to do it once more. Android with the sword. Paste. So the one problem with all this is that all this other code, like moving towards the character, it could happen while the Android is lying on the floor. So when it's on the floor, we want it to be absolutely still. So we don't want any of this to run if the enemy's down. So the only way to take care of that is to create a variable called activated. Going to compile, and by default it's going to be set to true. So I go ahead and copy and paste. Whoops. Copy and paste this variable into the other two Androids. And then right here I'll put a branch that says all this stuff can happen. This is if activated is true, and make sure it's by default true. I'm going to copy this, do the same thing over here. Make sure it's set to true, and I'll do it once more over here. So in order to toggle this variable activated, then I need to back on this deal damage when the enemy gets hit. We'll create a couple more nodes. One here, the first one is going to be, I'll get set activated. It's going to be set to false, so it's going to be unchecked. Let's create a sequence. So right away, set to false, but because all these animations take a total of 5 seconds, so the last one is played after a 4-second delay, but this animation is 1 second, so it's a total of 5 seconds. We'll create a delay of 5 seconds. this and set this to true. So once that's true, then all this stuff can happen again after 5 seconds. So I'll move all this down. I'm going to copy. Okay, so I'm going to save all. Okay, so if I hit play now, so I've got a bunch of characters coming after me. But as you can see, there's only one that walks towards me. As soon as I punch him, he falls to the ground. He stays there for 3 seconds, and he's back in action after. But just say this one comes after me. This is the problem. If I kick him and he's on the ground, immediately one of the other ones should be moving towards me, because I'm no longer engaged with that enemy that's on the ground. So how do I do that? So whenever, so this is like a pretty, I think, an important thing. If like it's no good. It's also no fun if the enemy's just lying there and like all the other enemies are just standing around, just waiting for the one on the ground to flip back up. So the way to deal with it is to first, like my first inclination was to go in here and where is it? Oh yeah, try to like pick out, you know, the closest enemy at any given moment or whatever, and try to do something there. But as you can see, this is pretty complicated, and it's hard to sort things out here. So the simplest way, I think, is to toggle. If you go into I think it's the capsule. So both the capsule has, in the skeletal mesh, I believe, have the enemy blocked. So I believe, so the idea is to toggle this off when the enemy's on the ground. When this is toggled off, then the female warrior's, the main character's trace is no longer detecting that particular enemy that's on the ground. So therefore, it's going to start setting a different enemy as the closest enemy. So I'm going to create another node, or another pin in the sequence after deal damage. And I'm going to create another sequence. So this is right below the activated and deactivated that we just created. I'm going to pull out of here, and I'm going to get a node called set collision response to channel for the static mesh. And I'm not sure if it takes two, so I'm going to try. Okay, apparently it seems like it's reading two, both the skeletal and the capsule. So I'm going to grab enemy, and I'm going to leave it at ignore. So after 5 seconds, when the characters activated again. And I'm going to set it back to block. Now I'm going to copy and paste this to the two other androids. Okay, so I'm going to try this out now. And if I go over here and I kick the enemy, goes backward, then all of a sudden the other one is immediately activated, the next closest one. So if I kick this one, flips backward, and then the next one is engaged. So this works absolutely perfectly. This way the gameplay is a little bit less boring, which is extremely important. You need to keep the player engaged at all times. We don't want the player to wait around for the enemy to flip back up. Okay, that's all I wanted to do. Hopefully you like that. I think this is, we're starting to talk about things that have to do with like game design and gameplay and making the game fun to play, which is actually super important. All the other stuff that we did before was like all, there's lots of stuff to do like modeling and animation and like coding and everything, but it's at this stage where it's either the thing that you make is either a good game or it's not a very good or not a good game. So yeah, I'm going to continue to improve on this. So hopefully you like this one, and please stay tuned for more videos. Okay, thanks.